Chosen one, this moment is not a coincidence. Your soul was drawn to this video because the heavens whispered the same message to you 7 times. The number 1111 didn't appear before your eyes for nothing, and the prayers of 33 prophets did not fall upon you by chance. You are one of the 144,000 chosen, and your presence here is a divine sign. This message was sent to awaken the secret that has been resting within your heart. What you are about to hear are not just words, but divine vibrations that will sink deep into your soul. If these words are touching you, leave your heart in the comments so the heavens can witness your testimony. Because when you write, another soul will awaken. Now prepare yourself, for this video will illuminate your path. Those who recognize the signs of God know that nothing is random. That's why your being here is already a miracle. Family, our voice is rising. We are walking toward our first 1,000 subscribers. If this message speaks to you, press like, subscribe to Chosen Archangel, and comment, "I'm part of this mission." You're not like the others. You are a living example of what is possible. And that reality is finally being echoed back to you by the globe. The murmurs of your influence have become a chorus without your knowledge. People who happened to meet you once are now recalling how your presence or words affected them. Former colleagues are using you as evidence that brilliance is embodied rather than uncommon. Pieces of your genuineness are still present in people who hardly knew you. And now, people are piecing those pieces together as justifications for opening doors for you. Waiting for recognition is no longer an option this season. It's about accepting the inevitable fallout from your previous impression. Every discussion in which your name comes up is proof that invisible seeds you sowed years ago are now blossoming into chances you never would have thought possible. Sparks were what you believed to be brief flashes of strength, kindness, or clarity. And today, those sparks are igniting fires in unseen locations. Already, the elevation is underway. It is a matter of when rather than if. You enter the chambers that are already ready for you. No matter how discreetly you try to move, you are the kind of presence that cannot be concealed. Conversations concerning you are carrying an extraordinary heat because the weight of your genuineness has reached a tipping point. In reality, what appears to be a coincidence is a recognition surge that is beyond human planning. Your reputation is currently being upheld with a strength that most people will never understand because of the preparation that has already paved the way. It's not with cold politeness that your name is called. The vitality it carries uplifts the space. Something about you penetrates the deepest layers of people's identities, evoking reactions they themselves don't fully understand, which causes their expressions to change, their tone to become sharper, and their movements to become more alive. This surge of recognition is simultaneously igniting 2 forces. Like a rising tide, admiration is enveloping you, yet many who once believed your light could be contained are also becoming resistant. Those who had secretly hoped your influence would wane are also becoming uneasy due to the same momentum that draws allies. This conflict is not arbitrary. It's a part of a bigger picture where your ascent necessitates resistance, demonstrating how important you are. There's a reason you are here. Respond to the call if you sense it. To get deep insights, exclusive content, and a vibrant community, click Join. This goes beyond simply being a member. An awakening is taking place. Enter your heavenly calling. Become one of the selected. It wasn't an abrupt realization. It started out as faint echoes. During an idle discussion, someone made a casual comment about your dedication. A silent recommendation of your skills to someone who is looking for precisely what you have to give. Someone who didn't know you well yet had a deep sense of truth in their voice defending your reputation. These weren't isolated mishaps. The signals were strategically positioned to align with your elevation. The indicators are now everywhere, creating a pattern that is too exact to ignore, like to a design that has been waiting for years to come into being piece by piece until the picture is finally unquestionable. Eventually, those who have been subtly molding themselves in the truth find that life starts to be planned around their development by invisible forces. Every silent act of integrity, every consistent moment without an audience, and every sacrifice given without assurance of recompense add up to something greater than is typically understood. And existence itself starts shifting the stage when the time is right, causing the concealed preparation to suddenly become unquestionably visible. This development is neither a fantasy nor a consoling notion intended to make the battle easier. It is the inevitable result of perseverance and harmony. Places of weight are starting to speak what has been spoken in tiny spaces. Where doors used to remain firmly locked, recommendations are now arriving in circles where decisions are made and interest in your name is growing. This change is not coincidental, rather, it is the direct outcome of momentum accumulated over years of invisible labor. The formerly dispersed murmurs are becoming more focused, precise, and intentional. Suddenly, someone who didn't have any reason to think of you feels obliged to mention your participation in a significant conversation. Someone with long-standing influence remembers your personality so vividly that their remarks open up new avenues for you. As though driven by an invisible force that won't allow your presence to go unnoticed, even the protective custodians of restricted areas can't help but wonder about you. This recognition has a wider scope than reason can account for. Although names seldom lead beyond well-known bounds, yours is doing so across disciplinary, cultural, and communal lines. Even those who have never met you in person have an impression of who you are, as if they have always understood what you stand for. Opportunities from locations you never deliberately sought out are woven together by connections you never made for yourself. Clever tactics and practiced networking cannot create what is occurring. It arises from truth that leaves a mark wherever it is lived, greatness that naturally leaves its mark, and sincerity that cannot be faked. Because it stems from a deeper stream that is beyond quantification, the power of such an impact produces a wave that no marketing strategy could duplicate. And even if the weight of waiting may still be on your shoulders, there is no denying the proof. Your name has a resonance that permeates every space it enters, introductions are proliferating, and conversations are aligning. What was once private diligence has become public credibility, not by coercion, but by necessity. This is just the start of something bigger. The recognition you see right now is a sneak peek, a piece of an ongoing design. There's more velocity behind you than your eyes can yet perceive. However, the indicators are obvious. The earth is moving under you. There is life in the air around you. And the tale that was once told slowly and in the dark is going to take off and become brilliant. There is much more going on here than fleeting praise or casual recognition. Discussions now focus on vivid stories of how you changed outcomes, calmed storms, provided clarity when confusion reigned, and pushed individuals above their perceived limits rather than circling about superficial impressions. People are remembering times when you remained true to yourself under duress or when your presence changed the direction of a situation. These aren't mere compliments. They serve as live examples of influence. Ironically, this wave usually peaks right when you feel the least noticeable. On other days, it felt like your efforts were in vain, and you questioned whether your route was the right one or whether your labor was worthwhile. Such uncertainties were indicators of the last stage of life, assessing if your motivation was based on purpose or praise, not failure. Because only those who have persevered through the hidden season without losing hope can manage the gravity of what lies ahead. That examination is evidence of preparedness. Allow your love to show if God's blessings fill your heart to overflowing. Give $50 or more by clicking the super thank you button to help sow seeds of faith that will change the lives of countless people. His riches is reflected in your giving. Serve as a conduit for His grace, and see His kingdom grow via you. The horizon is now twisting in unexpected directions. Connections you previously overlooked are now revealing alignments. Relationships you never imagined resurfacing. And there are those who have hardly touched your world but who suddenly have the power to change your path. It's all no accident. Every instance of putting the truth before convenience. This acceleration has been fueled by every moment of selfless service and every invisible act of dedication. Particularly in the area of employment and vocation, there is a stirring. Your reputation has spread over networks where there is a strong demand for dependability but a low supply. Leaders are expressing a need for someone who possesses the traits you have subtly carried throughout your life, and your name is emerging as the unique answer. It's no accident. It's the result of activating all of your previous professional impressions. It desires to propel you ahead. However, it goes beyond job advancement, contracts, and titles. Your presence is being proudly reintroduced in private areas. Friends now portray you as someone they genuinely trust rather than just a casual acquaintance. Invitations grow because your presence improves the mood, not because you have to. Your reputation carries a strength that speaks before you arrive, even in social situations where it frequently feels brittle. Not just what people say has changed, but so has the way they say it. Your clique is not small, it is part of a movement. Help us reach 1,000 voices by subscribing, liking, and leaving your word of faith in the comments. When people talk about you, their words have conviction and weight, as if they've drawn from something bigger than themselves. Whole groups' perceptions of you are being shaped by their stories. Additionally, that collective voice is presenting a picture of you that could not be created by self-promotion. All of this movement is building to a point where you will be required to fully embrace your identity. What was concealed is now apparent. What used to seem unimportant is now being emphasized. And it turns out that what seemed delayed was actually well-timed. Recognition is not sweeping in. It has already arrived and is changing how the world views you. Gaining more recognition is not a quiet process. It inspires awe in many. In contrast, it also disturbs people who have lived a long time. Where jealousy lurks, the light of your progress shines brightly. And the very things that make you feel better also reveal people who are unable to celebrate the development of others. What once appeared to be loyalty turns out to be rivalry wrapped in civility as masks start to come off. When you realize somebody is not really on your side, it can be a devastating revelation. Once your assent becomes unquestionable, people you trusted, encouraged, or supported may start to display opposition or even apathy. This revelation, albeit painful, is necessary because it shows you how to distinguish between those who are in line with your destiny and others who have merely put up with you while you were hiding in the shadows. It makes you more conscious and forces you to narrow your social circle to people who appreciate you rather than try to outdo you. This is a part of a bigger fight, not just a human reaction. Opposition arises whenever someone has influence that is intended to have a significant impact outside of their own lives. There are several historical figures whose development sparked opposition as soon as they achieved power. You are not experiencing delusion. It is the unavoidable pushback that occurs when invisible forces realize how important your purpose is. These tests are designed to undermine your faith, distract you, and upset your confidence. However, prior hardships have already shaped your resilience. Resistance can take many different forms. Some strategies will involve open, obvious challenges, criticism, or even purposeful disruption of possibilities. Others will dress more subtly and show up as manipulative guilt, exhausting conversations, or a cavalier disregard for your achievements. Every effort is meant to weaken you or deceive you into becoming smaller. The first step in reducing their influence is identifying these tendencies. But even these hardships have a secret use. They instill the discipline of guarding your energy, knowing when to say no without feeling guilty, and not letting others determine your value. They help you become more perceptive so you can see the meaning behind words. Additionally, they teach you to react wisely rather than reactively. Your character's structure is strengthened by the very pressure of opposition. These are the times when you learn which voices should be allowed to enter your inner world and which ones should be kept out of it. People who respect your path will be delighted by your development. However, those that are unable to handle it will show it by remaining silent or sabotaging. Even though they can be difficult at times, each revelation is a gift that keeps you focused on the road ahead. Therefore, this step is a refinement rather than a setback. The need for discernment, the emergence of opposition, and the revelation of envy are all signs that your elevation is genuine and unstoppable. This fire creates a version of you that is untouchable and unshakable, able to handle more responsibility without giving in to the distractions of those who are unable to handle your light. The strength of your journey was underestimated by certain historical figures. They felt that they had put a stop to your tale by abandoning you, undermining your development, or discounting your value. They are now observing your life from a distance as it takes unexpected turns. They are conflicted, feeling both sorrow and jealousy. As a result of this tension, people start looking for methods to reintegrate into the life they had previously rejected. In order to gain an advantage over you, they might come back with kind words, pressing demands, or offerings that sound nice. There is a natural tendency to back off in situations like these. Pulling inward is not a sign of failure. It's wisdom. Your feelings of seclusion are a result of preparedness rather than avoidance. In order for the changes inside of you to settle, you are establishing holy distance. In order to give the next version of yourself space to develop unhindered. The goal of this slower season is to preserve the ground where your next growth is taking root, not to disappear from the world. During this time, solitude acts as both a haven and a protection. You can more clearly see which connections have expired and which lines are still true by cutting down on noise and distractions. Refining your inner force is what appears to be retreat from the outside. Clarity and direction are strengthened in this incubation chamber, readying you to return to the world with more vigor than before. The way that other people view you is one of the significant changes that arise here. People will become more aware of how scarce your availability is the more deliberate you are with your time. Your energy starts to shine as something unique and deserving of respect once you stop freely giving it to everyone. Your boundaries won't be a threat to those who truly respect you. They'll realize that what you have to give is important enough to warrant protection. In actuality, establishing boundaries does not entail alienating others. It's about making your presence more valuable. The nature of your interactions shifts the instant your attention and space are regarded as assets rather than points of agreement. The people who are supposed to stroll with you will get up to the occasion. Those who are unable to cope with the new rules of access make their goals very evident, and they consequently withdraw from your circle of privilege. One of the most obvious indicators of the change you are going through is the improvement of your relationships. It will feel strange to receive invitations. The tone of conversations will shift, and people will start to treat you with more respect. It's not because you demanded respect, but rather because your deeds subtly convey to others that your energy is finite and should not be wasted. Your recognition season has fully arrived, as evidenced by every aspect of this stage, including the reunion of old acquaintances, the stillness of incubation, and the fortification of your boundaries. The purpose of the test is to prepare you, not to break you, so that the foundation you stand on can withstand the gravity of what is ahead. Greatness requires integrity, weight, and decisions. It never comes easily. The true analysis starts as soon as access, invitations, and impact all increase. Every new door poses the question, Will this power shape you into someone who uplifts, or will it bend you towards selfishness? Acknowledgement is the first step toward greater accountability rather than the end of the journey. And whether your influence lasts or diminishes depends on how you manage this phase. The spirit of your work, not just what you've done, is what people are really drawn to. They observe the uncommon harmony between sincerity and strength. How you maintain your compassion while remaining resolute under duress. The manner in which you treat everyone with respect, regardless of their position. Your name appears in circles of trust because of this. It isn't about praise. It's about authenticity leading to credibility. Your substance makes all the difference in a world full of performances. Transformation itself is your gift. You draw insight where others perceive brokenness. You create opportunity where others perceive lack. Where others merely feel loss, you discover purpose that fortifies not only you but also everyone you come into contact with. What makes you unique is your alchemy of transforming the broken pieces of life into something valuable. Before they can even express it, they perceive it. They believe that just being around you has the capacity to awaken something within of them. This is made much more potent by the fact that you have both apparent and invisible influence. On the one hand, you create quantifiable results, such as finished projects, goals, and cleared routes. Conversely, you create invisible transformation, uplifting hearts, revitalizing minds, and inspiring courage. This mixture is what causes a domino effect. You awaken others to possibilities while delivering results. People are ready to bring up your name in rooms you haven't even been in because of that double effect. You are surrounded by non-transactional loyalty. It is the result of experience. People who have collaborated with you or even just shared space with you have seen personally how it changed their viewpoint. You leave them in a better state than when you arrived. Chosen Archangel is not just a channel, it is a calling. Subscribe now, press like, and write a comment so together we can reach our 1,000 soul family. And that unseen indicator of development turns into the strongest recommendation anyone could make. Now, rumors of your capacity to change things are spreading like wildfire. People remember how you studied turmoil and unveiled previously invisible answers, how you saw promise in circumstances that others would have disregarded, and how you transformed shortage into opportunity. These testimonies aren't prepared. They are stories of real-life occurrences recounted with sincere appreciation. That's why there seems to be so much enthusiasm behind your acknowledgement. What has always been true has been confirmed this season. Your ascent isn't based on good looks, luck, or phony charm. It is based on the ability to raise, create, and change. Your influence grows as that reality spreads, not only because of your accomplishments but also because of who you are. That integrity serves as the cornerstone upon which everything enduring will rest when no one is looking. At some point in life, opportunities are no longer presented in fragments but rather come in quick succession. What used to seem like isolated discoveries are now multiplied into endless possibilities. A network grows from a single introduction. An assignment that is finished starts a referral chain. One suggestion starts a chain reaction that produces considerably more results than could have been anticipated. This is the process of acceleration. When the stars align, it's not about chance, rather, it's about a season that multiplies development in ways that no amount of personal effort could entirely plan. The assistance that is currently circling you doesn't make perfect sense. Without you even realizing it, people are passionately screaming your name and interrupting discussions on your behalf. They detect something uncommon about you, something rooted in reality that defies disbelief. Their statements go beyond simple affirmations. They are protecting your way, creating invisible barriers, and removing impediments you might not have known existed. Some people may oppose your ascent, but others are compelled to support and defend you, almost as if their voices were chosen to be on your side. This moment is unique because it affects every aspect of your life simultaneously. The integrity you've lived in private improves your reputation in public, and the respect you've earned professionally fortifies your relationships with others. Your identity in one place is inextricably linked to your identity in another. Your magnetic quality comes from your consistency. People understand that your excellence is ingrained in every aspect of who you are and is not situational. The recognition that is currently taking place is not accidental, rather, it is strategic. This is not casual conversation. It's a deliberate alignment. People aren't just saying good things about you. They are actively connecting your name to resources, putting you in front of chances, and exposing you to platforms that will increase your reach. They are motivated by more than just politeness. Because they can feel the impact it will have on you and the others you will inspire, they want to be a part of your progress. Discussions concerning your potential are taking on behind the scenes in places you haven't yet seen. Your name is being treated with importance by decision makers, influencers, and connections, as if you already belong in the rooms where your presence will soon be asked for. They don't wait for the rest of the world to catch up. They're setting you up ahead of time because they think they've found something valuable before everyone else does. Strategy by itself cannot duplicate this kind of momentum. It is the result of years of silent constancy and invisible work to establish a reputation strong enough to support exponential growth. Because what you stand on has already been tried and tested, that foundation makes the doors opening now more sustainable. This kind of recognition shifts the focus from the limelight to unquestionable alignment. In actuality, you are entering a phase in which your impact is not only growing but also intensifying. One mention leads to another. Every chance creates several more. Additionally, you can link to an even greater horizon with every new chamber you enter. This isn't a favor trickle. It is a flood that is intended to fast bring you to the fullest of what you have been ready to bear. This recognition is not coming lightly. It is timely and accurate, putting you in the heart of discussions you were unaware were taking place. Influential people are referring to you as the solution to urgent problems, highlighting your qualities and skills as though you were the clear choice all along. Bypassing the typical waiting period that most people experience, these early acknowledgments are laying the groundwork for momentum that advances quickly rather than gradually. In reality, what seems abrupt has been moving for some time, and now it's starting to accelerate. The way your reputation is inspiring others to see the big picture is what makes this stage even more remarkable. Leaders are doing more than just determining that you fit into pre-existing places. They're envisioning new areas that can only be occupied by you. They are thinking about collaborations, business endeavors, and positions centered on your distinct viewpoint. Solutions are no longer the only things that bear your name. It's starting to inspire them to consider options that weren't there before your influence got into their heads. You have been led here by everything up to this point, including every challenge, every moment of uncertainty, and every unspoken triumph. This is where opportunity and preparedness converge. And the choice you make will determine how your next chapter unfolds. The decision won't be easy. It will challenge you to accept a magnitude of influence that cannot be determined solely by personal benefit, to claim responsibilities you once doubted you were prepared for, and to walk into visibility that seems intimidating. At this point, hesitancy will attempt to overpower confidence. Whispers of unworthiness may try to take root, insecurities you believed were buried may reappear, and memories of past failures may reverberate. But beneath those voices, there will be another cry that is unmistakable, distinct, and persistent. It will be the voice of destiny, reminding you of the orchestration that got you here, the many times that others have said your name in faith, and the faith they have placed in your character. The last push from resistance will come as the chance draws near. Delay is what opposition lives on. Additionally, it will try to convince you to back off by telling you to choose safer routes, accept smaller dreams, or question the very recognition that has led you to this precipice. It will attempt to transform past suffering into paralysis in the present. It doesn't, however, take into consideration the strength you've subtly developed in silence. The fortitude was developed during times when no one was around. Years of serving without praise, of persevering without assurance, of putting principle before expediency. You were being prepared for this pivotal choice by all of these. The you standing here is not the same person who formerly doubted their value, even though the doubts may seem familiar. In ways you cannot yet completely perceive, you are ready. And you deserve this moment because of your preparation. There's more than one option at this fork in the road. Getting in line with the future that has been waiting for you is the goal. There's more acceleration up ahead than there is behind any obstruction. What appeared to be a risk will turn out to be the exact gateway to success. You'll come to understand that every hardship served as training for this particular phase of your development. A decision alone won't be the pivotal moment that lies ahead. It will be an affirmation of your identity. You'll be surprised by the strength you bring to it, since you know deep down that this route was never built by accident or hard work. You were marked it. Every opportunity that once seemed nearly impossible will suddenly fit you like it was created with your whole essence in mind once you answer the call without hesitation. Former allies who worked covertly for you will now come forward with confidence. Even the opposition you encountered will be reinterpreted as evidence that you have always been headed in the right direction. Motives surrounding you will no longer remain disguised throughout this season. Those that resurface from your past will find themselves at a turning point in their lives. Some people might sincerely change their ways to promote your development. Others will show you that they were never intended to be in your life, and they will inevitably leave your social circle. In any case, you benefit since you won't fall into the same old traps because of your capacity to see past appearances. Each trial has improved that ability to see the truth underneath words. What once baffled you now makes perfect sense. When someone approaches with genuine intention, you can tell. Additionally, it's equally easy to spot manipulation when it tries to pass for concern. You will not become chilled as a result of this judgment. It will help you become intelligent and make sure that your energy is directed only toward the people and endeavors that support your mission. Pulling back inside oneself was a good use of time. You weren't hiding. You were getting ready. The quiet allowed for the development of strength, the healing of wounds, and the sharpening of vision. Engagement will no longer deplete you. Rather, it will revitalize you, since you will no longer carelessly disperse your presence. You'll enter rings that support your goal. Giving will also provide you energy because it will be well-oriented. The word spreads through you. Share this video, subscribe to Chosen Archangel, and let us rise together until we hit 1,000. Chosen One, remember this: heaven never sends a word without purpose. If this message has stirred your spirit, let it shine brighter. Press like so the light spreads to others walking in darkness. Subscribe to Chosen Archangel so you never miss the next divine revelation. And share your thoughts in the comments below. Your testimony may be the very spark that awakens another soul. Until we meet again, stay covered by the wings of heaven and walk boldly in your calling.